Boom! What's going on? It's your man Qualified, and
Yo, it's Eddie C.
and this is Two Dope Dads and a podcast.
And a podcast. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all are in for a treat.
Yes, sir. Bow, 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 bow. I'll never let a statue tell me how nice I am. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Boom, 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 boom. Bow, bow, bow. R.I.P. Fife Dog. Bow, 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 bow. Bang. What's going on? It's your man Qualified, a.k.a. the Dirty Daddy, a.k.a. Dr. Footlover, a.k.a. the Black American Dream, a.k.a. Black ECW, a.k.a. Mr. Black Future.
Yo, it's Def, a.k.a. Stupid Fresh,
Okay.
a.k.a. your girlfriend's stepbro,
Shit.
a.k.a. Cardboard Crack,
Ooh.
Big Mac,
Yeah.
Banger, no breaks, no glory.
It's crazy. We really out here, man.
Sometimes I just feel like I be saying shit. I'm
yeah.
just saying shit.
Yes. That's how I felt.
All right,
But it sounded cool.
that's the point.
Yeah, there you go, man. Like,
Ain't no other.
Like I haven't seen you eat a Big Mac in I don't know how long.
I don't even eat at McDonald's. Damn. It was just more of a reference to something iconic.
Yeah.
Not that I eat Big Macs all the time.
Yeah. Banger.
Banger.
So hey man, how was your weekend?
I mean, it was cool, man. I've been watching a lot of like sports cards.
Okay.
So I'm like tracking some prices and figuring out some players. Did mostly football stuff. Now I'm looking at basketball. That's why I was asking you
About basketball players.
The basketball players, right?
I'm the guy to ask.
Yeah, man.
Guy to ask. Guy to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
I just
me.
been moving shit around, you know what I mean? Trying to take some money out of the football stuff and move it into basketball. Always heard it was the more lucrative sport. I think it's they say the top selling sports are baseball then basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense to me.
I think traditionally baseball has just always been about like the sports cards.
Yeah, baseball cards I think were the
That's
first
kinda
cards.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's got the longest track record.
Yeah, man. Used to get baseball cards with bubble gum
Yeah, and cigarettes.
and cigarettes. Cigarette gum cards all at once for
Did they-
children.
What?
No, but
I don't think they ever did that.
no, they didn't.
But that's an idea. Two dope dads, cigarette gum sports cards for children.
But no nicotine, not actual cigarettes, just like the smoking gum. Actually, I had got that. I had seen some kid. They were like gum cigarettes, and then you could like actually puff on them, and smoke would come out.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how many puffs you could get off. I don't know if it was like sugar. I don't know how they did it, but like you could go and like puff on them, and smoke would come
That's
out. And
wild.
then you could like chew it.
They made candies like that?
For a little bit, and then I think they probably like somebody was like, "Hey, don't fucking do that. It's
Be
advertising this shit to
promoting-
kids."
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Could you imagine, like, because it's already sugar, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
already like it was gum. It's not candy, but there's sugar in that shit.
Right.
Like, imagine a kid going through withdrawals because they were chewing a pack a day.
I need my gummy smokes, mom.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You got another pack? That's terrible. Yeah. No, so what's going on with these sports cards, my guy?
Yeah. So looking at like, because of the football shit, I started with the fantasy football,
Okay.
and so that's where I got into like knowing the players and what's going on with the teams, and I always fucked with sports, or not sports cards. I always fucked with cards, like trading cards. It's like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Digimon, like anything that we ever fucked with.
In me. Sorry, that's
I don't think that.
what I thought of.
That
has nothing to do
I was gonna say
with what
that's
you got going
totally
on.
none of any of the things that I just mentioned.
Magic in me. I don't know what they say after. You know what? Do you know that
I don't
song?
know what you're doing right now. What the fuck is going on?
It's a. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
No, so I did I did mostly modern stuff, you know, like it's all current
Yeah.
shit. And I've been wanting to get into more I wanted to get into more vintage, and then like trying to diversify, figure out like other shit. Basically just expand the hobby, like get more enjoyment out of it, and then looking at like the financial side of it, because
shit.
I didn't realize how much people were putting, like how much money people were putting into the hobby.
Yeah.
Like I've heard of like Sports Card Investor, but I always thought it was just like pump and dump, like with stocks, like whenever there's
I thought you were talking about something else with pumping
that-
that.
that's completely different. No, like whenever someone has a stock that's like low valued, if they have a big following, they can like tell everybody, hey, this thing's gonna go to the moon, buy it now. But because everyone's buying it, it's causing it to go up in value. And then they get their friends and family like, hey, buy this now, and then it continues to go up. And then like it hits a certain point, and the motherfucker that told you sells his shit, and then he's just like, all right, sell now.
Yeah.
So like I always thought of it like that, like, oh, you just like, it's easy to manipulate the market if you can generate a following. You say, oh, we're investing, follow me, I'm gonna tell you what to buy.
Like NFTs.
But I never actually watched him. Yeah, kind of. I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I never actually watched him, but I started watching him. Shit kind of makes sense.
Okay.
But so I figured I'd start looking at other shit, and I enjoy football and fantasy and collecting the cards. So I figured I'd enjoy basketball and other shit too.
I've got the magic.
You never-
in me. Sorry.
What the fuck is that from? What?
It's some song. I
You
don't,
don't
know what
know?
it is.
Oh my god. Yo, if you know that song, leave it down in the comments, because we got to figure this out. Because he's gonna be singing it all fucking night, and then I'm not gonna know what the fuck's going on. So let us know so we can figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, what I mean, like I know you fuck with sports, but
Yes.
you don't really fuck with like cards and shit.
No.
Did you, like, when you were a kid? Like, was that
No,
something
when I was
y'all
younger,
collected?
I used to collect cards, but I never like really got into like the financial side or like trying to make money off of them or anything. I just wanted to have like as many like dope motherfuckers as I could, just like everybody who I liked, and so I would just buy like hella cards, and then like even like guys who I was like, oh, this motherfucker might have potential, he might be dope in the future. I'm
Yeah.
just keep this card. I'm gonna hold on to this. Like my favorite card was my favorite basketball player of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon. I had two of them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so like one was like a special edition from some set, and it was like the season leaders or whatever.
Yeah,
So, 'cause
I've seen stuff like that, yeah. That's
he
typical.
was like the leader that year in blocks. So I had a special edition card and then just like a regular, just a picture of him playing basketball card.
Nice.
So yeah.
Do you know if they were rookies?
No, neither one was a rookie.
okay.
Yeah, because I think
So it was like more modern stuff.
Yeah.
Just they printed the players.
I think what was that? I forget which year. I think it was like 90. It was like the 93-94 season. Was the season leader card, and I think
Okay.
the other one was like from the 92 season.
Oh,
So it wasn't rookie, but it wasn't like when he was like as fully established Hall of Famer yet either. So
I got you. So it's like still an early career card.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah.
I know in modern times it's not too valuable. Like most people don't. They kind of like won't even look at a year 2 card or year 3 card unless there was something like ultra special. But like if it was just an ultra rare card in the box where
Yeah.
that set, like they do the numbered thing where it's like out of 99 or something. You know what I mean? Like then maybe people pay attention and goes for some money just for collectors. But
Yeah.
what's interesting is this is why I like the vintage stuff. I'm looking at the vintage stuff. Some of the year 2 card matters. Sometimes a year 3 card matters. It just depends on what's going on with the player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the one I've been watching, because me being a basketball idiot and not really knowing what the fuck is going on.
And me being a basketball savant.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I don't like the motherfucker I think of is like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because he was in the Bruce Lee movie, and I was a big Bruce Lee nerd growing up.
That would be how you know Kareem
So that's
Abdul-Jabbar.
yeah. So that's like one of the first, when I first got it in my head, like I'm gonna look at vintage cards. The first guy I looked up, I didn't realize he changed his name.
Yeah, man. Lou Alcindor.
Yeah, so I was looking at him up, and of course, people who sell his cards, they know, so they put his name in the tags and stuff. But I was looking at cards with Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, man. It's him.
And I had to search it up, and I found the first Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card.
And then he went and found Allah and changed his name.
Exactly. So his rookie card is kind of priced like $4,000, $5,000. I don't know, maybe still a good investment, like at a high end PSA grade. But the first year he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, the PSA 10 still going for like $3,000, or people are asking $3,000. I don't think there are any sales at that much. But you can get a nice 9 or an 8 for substantially less. You know what I mean? So I think I bought an 8 at like $400.
Yeah.
Just watching the auctions on eBay. But yeah, stuff like that. I think I'm looking at the year 2 Larry Bird cards.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Sheesh.
That's another one that came up that I knew of, that I heard of through like the Michael Jordan era, right?
Yeah.
So like I knew his rookie card got a lot of attention. So I looked that up first, but apparently his rookie card is a 3-piece, which is dope as fuck. Like I would love to have that card because it has 3 different players.
Yeah.
And I think one of them is Dr. J. So it's just kind of crazy. Like you get like different people on the cards.
Yeah. How the fuck does that work?
Well, they made it perforated, so like you could like bend them and rip them, so you get 3 cards in one.
Wow.
So that was a thing apparently, and I guess it was supposed to be rare now because a lot of kids would just rip them up.
Yeah.
But there's actually quite a few out there. I think they printed a lot, but still a dope card especially if you got it in a good condition, good grade. If you send it out with a PSA, but yeah, that motherfucker is like around that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 1 too. You know what I mean? Like I might be dropping $5,000 or $6,000 on it, in a good condition, and I don't want the shitty condition. So it's just like I'm gonna look for other things at a good entry point for me that I think still have some validity. So the nice thing, the way that I see it is, okay, so technically that 3-piece card is Larry Bird's first card.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking 3-piece card. So
Like
I was
a 3-piece suit.
exactly. I was like, let's go for the onesie.
Yeah, man.
So the year 2 is the ones I'm targeting right now because it's dope because it's got like this shot of him with the jacket on, and it's like you just see like the baby face. Like it's just crazy.
Oh, him with a baby face?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just like
This nigga
the
was
young
holding-
Larry Bird. No, because a lot of the other
Like, why they got him holding a
No.
baby on a basketball card? I don't understand.
not
Fuck going on with Larry
the
Bird?
baby's face.
Yes.
The baby face. Like most of the cards I was looking at are action poses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's very intense, but you see him just kind of chilling there, and he looks young. Like, it looks like a high school photo. I was just like, yo, this is wild.
Young ass Larry
Speaking of
Bird.
that, like even like the stuff from the 70s is crazy, and it
Yeah.
just looks vintage, looks 70s. So like the shits back when I think it was 71 or 72, and they were doing the team names across either the top or the bottom. I think they did 2 separate series, and one was on the top, one was on the bottom. And it's very like pop art or like graffiti art style, like big bold block letters.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, yo, this is so dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like it's like that time period. Yeah. So I'm buying into that set specifically, and just so happens that's the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one.
Okay.
So I'm looking at that, and even Pistol Pete.
Pistol motherfucking Pete.
So
my dog.
he had a card in that
That's my
set.
dog for sure.
He had a card in that set.
That's my dog.
I think that might have been like his second or third year too. So I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, I'm just gonna buy this motherfucker. I might buy out this whole set just because I like the way it looked.
Yeah, man. That was a swaggy white boy way he would dribble, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing all that stuff before people was doing that. So niggas was when he was crossing them white boys up, they was like, what the fuck? What's he doing?
Yeah.
He one of us. I don't understand. What kind of wizardry? But not, and you know what? You was talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now that motherfucker, he basically changed basketball. They was
No
changing
shit.
rules. Yeah, like
What you
when he was in college, they made it illegal to dunk because it was just too easy for him to dunk on everybody. So it's like, nigga, nah, no more dunking. Can't
What?
dunk. Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah.
So what would
So
he
then
have to do?
He would jump up and then just
Drop
drop the
it.
ball in. And then that's how he came up with his signature move, the sky hook. He's like, oh, I can't dunk, so all right, I'll
shit.
just do this. Right? And you couldn't stop that shot
Yeah.
because he was so tall, and then he would jump,
Uh-huh.
right? And then it's goaltending if you block the ball when it's on its way down. So he would jump and then just throw it down. So it's already on the way down. So you can't even try to block it. If you do block it, that's 2 points.
Damn.
Motherfucker was unstoppable. That's why he got more points than everybody.
The legend.
Yeah, man.
Yo. I might be maybe I'm looking at too many motherfuckers. I'll just focus on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm gonna buy all his shits. Y'all better watch out. This coming out a week later, so by the time you try to buy them, they gone.
Boom. Ha. So that's why we feel comfortable telling you our plans now.
If you haven't noticed already, we're like a week ahead.
Or behind.
Yep. No.
Well, I don't know.
You're behind. You're not good at elaborating on when we're doing things.
You're not an elaborator. But
Hey man. So what you been up to? I've been over here like throwing money at cardboard. What you doing?
yeah. Well, shit. You know, living life, being a dad. But no, this past let's see. Well, the Grammys happened.
Yeah.
All right. So that was and that was interesting. Actually, I didn't watch those shits. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't watch the Grammys. But what was interesting was looking at some of the winners. Tyler the Creator won
That's
best
dope.
rap album of the year. And that's cool. That's dope. It was a very dope album. We all know that the rap album of the year was Donda. You know what I'm saying? But of course,
Yo, how many Grammys that dude got now?
more than everybody.
Damn.
More than all the rappers.
Shit. All right.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. Smash it.
I wonder how long it's gonna take for him to
Off the
get
charts.
more than anybody ever.
Classic. Shit. I don't know. I feel like because like it seemed like with him not winning rap album of the year, which is an obvious layup for him, and he had been campaigning for it,
Yeah.
like on social media previously before his, you know, blow ups and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. They had already like said, you know, he was like low key banned from the Grammy. So like of course he's not gonna win too much. They had issued a statement talking about his behavior on social media was concerning and shit like that. So and the Grammys is always big time politics and shit. Politics and the labels paying for shit. So like I don't think like once you get to a certain level, and this is a bigger question that I have. Once you get to a certain level, you know, as an artist, it's clear that the Grammys don't matter. Like, I was listening to another podcast, the Joe Budden podcast. Shout out Joe Budden, friend of the show.
What up?
Pump it up. But what's it called? But yeah, like he was saying, now this is something that I've also noticed, but you know, he pointed it out on his show. Past few years, a lot of the rappers haven't really been showing up to the Grammys. And like I think that's kind of like a sentiment amongst hip hop, especially at the top of hip hop. Like the last Grammys, Drake fucking removed his album from contention. Like they were gonna nominate him for rap album of the year. He's like, nah, man, I'm not even doing that shit. I think he still managed to win something for a song, or he still managed to get nominated for like rap song of the year or something like that.
Damn.
But yeah, like I think it's just like a lot of them. I'm like, man, it's some bullshit. I feel like there's a lot of unrest with rappers just as far as the industry, period.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I think it's just kind of okay. So when we were rapping, like full time, felt like, right? Like,
know it.
Like there'd be people I came across that would be like, oh, but if you're not paying your bills through rap, then you're not a rapper. And I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? You don't know shit. Do you rap?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, so it only exists as an occupation. It only exists for you to trade your time and energy for money. And if you can't trade your time and energy for money, then it doesn't exist. Is that what you telling me? Like, that's not you, but that's
them.
That's like I've had this conversation. Like, oh, I just don't think it doesn't count. I was like, who doesn't fucking count it? Like, I mean, I guess them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of like my attitude back then is kind of like my attitude now, and I imagine it's the attitude a lot of rappers have is this, like, if you don't do this shit and you're not involved, then who the fuck are you?
Another thing that Joe Budden pointed out is they never televise when you win Rap Grammy. The rap album of the year. It's that award's never televised. You know where Tyler, the Creator, gave his speech?
Where?
On Instagram Live. He was chilling somewhere else. He wasn't even at the awards. He got on Instagram Live. And
that sounds like hella bullshit. Why don't we have an award show where hip hop's like the main course and the rest of the motherfuckers can just like get some shit and not be noticed?
I mean,
like, let's just do your own one.
Well, yeah, they used to have the Source Awards, but then, motherfuckers was fighting, and there's always violence at the Source Awards.
It's half the reason I'd watch.
Oh, yeah, no, Source Awards was lit. I used to watch on UPN all the time. Source Awards was my shit. That's where we got one of the greatest hip-hop fucking moments. When the Source Awards was in New York and Death Row was up there winning, and Snoop Dogg was there. He's like, "Oh, East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Let it be known then." And everybody starts booing and shit. And then Suge Knight was up there, and that's where he was in the all red, and he was like, "If you don't want to be on a record label with the producer, all in the videos." All on the record, talking on the record. They come to Death Row, and it was like, boo, man. That was what, dog. That shit, man. Every time I see that shit, I get hyped up. Yeah, I'm hyped right now just talking about it.
See, you gotta bring that back.
Yeah, but like, 100%.
Right,
man.
Shit will be crazy
if the Source was still credible. Then I would say they should bring back the awards.
Okay,
BET has the BET Hip Hop Awards. I don't know, honestly. I mean, it'd probably be one of these fucking bullshit brands like Complex or something like that that would have to bring it back to be like big and shit. But like, fuck them, because I think Complex is some hoes too.
Damn. So you just like, I want to see it, but I don't know nobody who like
I don't know.
I'd co-sign doing that.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Let us know if you can think of somebody that can bring that back, because that's
Like-
kind of crazy.
because you can't do like a record label because that's biased.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like, because I mean, like if I saw like the Def Jam Hip Hop Awards, like that sounds cool, but then I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
that's Def Jam. Like, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's hard to think of like an entity that like I would trust it from. Like MTV don't be doing music no more. I don't trust them niggas. I guess Double XL would have to be the one
Yeah.
because they do the freshman lists
yeah.
and stuff like that. But
That'd be
like,
interesting.
at this point, I feel like, well, they did put out that one industry list, and that was actually pretty good. So I don't know. Maybe Double XL is who I would trust doing it.
All right. At least it's something, man. Like, it'd be cool to see, right? Like,
Oh hell yeah!
it's probably not gonna happen.
No, not at all.
No, definitely not.
But it would. It's a. I feel like maybe eventually that's where things might be headed. Like, cause like you look at Ye, with the whole STEM player thing, and like how he's like, yo, we're free from Billboard and shit like that, right?
Ye's Hip Hop Awards.
Well, no. But I'm just saying, like, that as him trying to like subvert the normal doing the streaming shit,
Yeah, of
and
course.
then like making us have to buy his STEM player and come directly to him, and that way he gets all the money now, and instead of having to split it with Apple or having to split it with these other motherfuckers. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think in the future, more and more artists are going to be trying to find ways to just do it straight, like,
Yeah.
hey, straight to the consumer,
Fuck
and
yeah, they
try to
should.
get away from some of this other shit. I just feel like that's where entertainment is going, period. Even with like, we've talked about it. I've talked about it on here a bunch of times, like these streaming services and shit like that.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to just give the shit straight to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think like depending, I think there's a lot of interesting directions music can go, like in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, even just if we talk about the idea of albums, you know what I mean? Like, is it still relevant to put out a full length album? How many songs is a full length album? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or does that not matter anymore? Do you just release a song every few weeks?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or do you release a song every week or whatever? Like, I think there's a whole lot of room right now for artists to decide all these little things, and that can help feed their brand.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm biased, so like for me, I collect records, right? Too, like I fuck with fucking collectibles and shit. So I like vinyl. If an artist came out and set a precedent for themselves and their audience, like, hey, I just want to release albums, but I want to release them on vinyl. Like, that's the medium I choose for my music, my art to be on.
Okay.
And they can build up a following off of that. Like, it becomes a cult thing
Yeah.
where it's like only these motherfuckers who fuck with this shit are gonna know about it. And then yeah, maybe if they want to like get out there some more, and like if they're on the radio or whatever, they can send them a file. But if you want to buy their shit, come buy this shit.
Yeah.
Same with with the STEM player, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of new people making music now are doing vinyl, they're doing cassettes, but I always feel like those things are just like gimmicky, like it's like the side thing. Like they do the album, they press it on CD because that's what you do with an album.
Right.
Then you put it up on streaming services, and then they're like, oh, we can make like a bunch of vinyl records and people will just flip out and buy it just for nostalgia. But if somebody committed to that as being their primary shit, like that'd be kind of a cool thing.
Well, I don't know if this was you telling me this. Somebody was saying that they feel like the resurgence of popularity in vinyl now is partly because we don't have posters anymore.
What do you mean by posters?
So back in the day, like when I was a kid,
Yeah.
right?
Are they not posters?
I mean, I was, you know what? After I heard whoever I talked to about this,
that wasn't me.
okay then. So whoever I heard this from or talked to about this with, I went to Target.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Target with my son and whatnot, and we were on our way to the toy section, but I decided to stop by and like look for posters. There were no posters anywhere in Target.
But okay, hold up. Have you ever bought a poster from Target?
Yeah, that used to be like this. That used to be a spot to get posters.
Where the fuck did you get a poster in Target? How old were you getting a poster in Target? Target's only hasn't been in Hawaii like that long.
No, I'm saying like when I was younger, Target used to be like when I was in California. Target was a spot to get posters.
So I never had Target. I used to go to Walmart.
Walmart used to have the posters. I didn't check at a Walmart yet.
Or Spencer's.
But yeah, Walmart used to be like when I got here. Walmart used to be the spot and just like scroll through the shit. So I haven't checked out a Walmart, but like, yeah, man. When I was younger, I used to have
posters.
Bunch of basketball players on my wall. So like, and they would come out in the magazines, and then I would get like actual posters. I had Vince Carter on my wall. I had Hakeem Olajuwon on my wall.
There's definitely something kids these days are missing out on, like all kinds of just random shit that we used to be able to find or get out of a magazine, buy at a store, or like Blockbuster had those movie frames. You know what I mean? And
nowadays, instead of a
everything's
poster,
digital.
kid just has like a
NFT.
Has their kid as it. Yes. Or they just have like their favorite, rapper or singer or whatever as like their screensaver on their phone or and shit like that.
It's all digital.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the one that we spoke with, and I know that because my thinking is actually a little different. So I can see the poster thing. Like the point is they want something physical.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I take out audio quality, because that's debatable, but because some people will say vinyl is got a richer sound, it's more organic, less sterile, and that's dependent on the system as a whole. So I think that can be true.
Yeah.
Most people just have like a basic setup, and so like unless you're willing to put thousands of dollars into your setup, you're probably not going to get much better sound than what you get out of a digital file.
Right.
I think that if we take that out, the real thing is that we miss the physicality of music. Like music is such it's something you hear, right? You can't hold it. And once it became the norm for it to be digital, I think a lot of people started to get disconnected from what their music was. Like most people, if you play a song, a lot of people might know it, but nobody knows
who that is,
who it is, or what the name of the song is, maybe. You know what I mean? Because they've heard it before. Maybe they put it on a playlist. They don't need to see what the name is to listen to it.
People, they hear it all the time on TikTok.
Yeah, or shit like that, right? All the content creators, videos, stuff like that, dances.
Like that one song that Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that song is or what they're talking about, but I've heard that song so much. As soon as it comes on, I'm like, shit.
No, but I think it's therapeutic too. Like I've heard that from people about like getting up to change the record or flip it over and like listening through it all the way through, especially if it's an artist you're interested in or you're getting to know, like really processing the music that you're listening to in a meaningful way, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's so easy to just
Skip it.
Next button. Next one.
Yeah.
Like, no, engage with it. Like, look at the record, put it on the table, lift the arm, drop the needle. Like, there's a process. So
Caress that
and-
bitch.
Yeah. but and it's funny because as I'm talking, it reminds me of I think it was KRS-One.
Don't scratch.
KRS-One was talking about
Yeah.
rapping and comparing it to like when you're gonna write a song. It's very similar to when you're gonna eat a meal, and it's like you have to do it consciously. He was like, okay, I want to create something. Let me where's my pen? Where's my pad? Let me think about what I'm going to write about. Let me listen to some music. Like, it's very conscious. He's saying it's the same way. Like, okay, I'm going to prep my meal. I'm going to set the table.
Yeah.
So he says,
Shit making me want to rap.
yeah. So it's interesting. It's funny because I'm just thinking of this now, but it's the same kind of thing. So he's talking about having a physical connection to something that's untangible that you're trying to produce or you're trying to enjoy. And it's the same thing that I'm comparing to listening to music with like the records and shit.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. We grew up with it. We don't have that no more. We used to have CDs, cassette tapes, vinyl record. Well, we didn't grow up with the vinyls, but
Yeah.
the other shits, the VHSs.
Oh yeah, no, I was a CD monster.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, now it's just not a thing that exists. No wonder like sports cards are taking off because all these motherfuckers that are our age that grew up with everything had a physical component to it. In a digital age where there is no physical components needed, we're craving it. And
Yeah.
I think that's why it's coming back. I think there's old interest in it. Well, new interest, refound interest in it. And then I think people older than us are like, oh, this is cool. Let me get involved with it too.
I think also because like when
And then the young kids just want to be hipsters.
like well yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also like because I think about this with like wrestling, right? I'm a big wrestling fan. And yeah, right.
Shit.
It's probably one of the first podcasts where it's not a wrestling shirt. But yeah, as a wrestling fan and at my age, we grew up during a time where we were able to grow up through the Attitude Era and right before that, like, right? So, like, we grew up, basically we got to grow up through 90s wrestling.
Yeah.
And 90s wrestling during, like, especially, like, the late 90s is the biggest the business has ever been and the most money it made and probably when it had the most, like, fans and everything, right? So all of us who were fans during that time period and then stayed fans until now,
Yeah.
like, we're super fans.
Yeah.
And at this point, now that we're like adults with our own income, like, you see something like AEW,
Yeah.
which leans into a lot of, and just feels like a lot of the wrestling that we grew up with, and kind of leans into a lot of the a lot of the good parts of the Attitude Era,
Yeah.
and just other wrestling of that time, and like during the time when we were still growing up. They're selling out shows and they're doing numbers. AEW
shit.
is
Dope.
doing numbers in North America as a company that's not WWE that nobody has seen since WCW was around. So like that kind of stuff, and then just seeing like the way that our age group spends, the ones who are fans.
Oh, yeah.
Like they'll spend on replica belts,
Oh, yeah.
spend on
No.
merchandise.
It's all
like-
the shit that we wanted. Like, it's all
Yeah,
the
exactly.
shit when we were a kid that they didn't have it, that
Right.
couldn't afford it,
We
or it didn't
couldn't-
exist.
Replica belts were hundreds of dollars, like the ones that actually look like the ones
Yeah.
on TV. So now I have a decent job
Yeah.
and shit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking buy a
It's
replica
the
belt.
same way with these cards, you know what I mean? Now that I'm like, I make decent money, like I provide a living, it's kind of like sometimes when I get amped up to get into some shit, I'm like, I ain't no kid. Like, let's jump into this thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this.
Like,
and I'm
no
just
one
like,
can-
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't
No one can tell
me
us no.
nothing.
And I feel like it's see, yes, yay. I'm serious, nigga. I'll get money. No, but what's it called?
I use my car as an indicator. If something starts to get to be as expensive as my car, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to
chill out.
a little bit. That's kind of, and I don't have an expensive car, so that's my
But like, honestly, I think shit across the board, like even the guys who are in the comics and
yeah
like that.
I mean,
And
comics been blowing up. I mean, I hate to say it's over its peak. I think it's gonna go through a transition, and if the right things happen, it can continue. But the fascination with the first and the X-Men and the whole Marvel craze with all the movies and stuff, I think that's starting to wind down a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, as far as people who are into these like
Yeah.
side interests in like our generation,
Yeah.
like everybody is like, all right, yeah, now I'm just gonna like go ahead and buy whatever,
The fuck I want. Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
shit I'm into.
Yeah.
Even if it's like people be like, oh, that's like weird. Like I see. I didn't realize how into like building shit with Legos people were.
Oh yeah.
And until I saw Miles Turner, center for the Indiana Pacers.
Oh, shit.
Apparently, he's really into
Legos?
Legos, and so he's
Damn.
like building shit. He's like rehabbing from an injury, and he has like a TikTok, and he does
Yo.
like shit on TikTok, and
That's it.
he's building Lego shit.
Yo, you know it'd be really dope if you took the Legos and you made like a Lego version of one of his cards, like his rookie card,
Ooh,
and
that'd
you
be
have
fire.
him fucking sign it.
Yeah, that'd be fire. What if you signed it in Lego?
Oh, but he gotta make that part. Like he gotta actually put that
Yeah.
shit. He should do that shit.
Miles Bridges.
No, not that
Miles
guy.
Turner.
Yeah, you. We got you.
And
I'll
Miles
help you
Bridges
if you need
holler at
it.
us too, man.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. RTBMB.
His cards too. I've been trying to pick up.
And he's a
This shit's
dope ass
crazy.
rapper. I got like mad.
Yeah.
I got Miles Bridges in my library right now.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
But yeah. Speaking of music,
Yeah.
though, I was talking about Miles Bridges
Yeah.
music. I kind of left the Grammys because fuck them, right?
Yeah.
But
I think that's where we ended on that.
yeah. But one thing that is one thing that is interesting about the Grammys that kind of marks the end of usually marks like a end of the year in music. That's when they honor everything from the year before.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
now we're starting fresh. And I've well, by the time you guys hear this, the album's gonna be like a week old. But for us, it's about to drop right now.
Oh shit.
Fabio Foreign. Now, I've been a Fabio fan for a little bit since I first heard him some shit with Pop Smoke. But
I don't know who that is.
you don't know Pop Smoke?
I know Pop Smoke. I know Fabio.
Oh, I was like, nigga. All right, but what's it called? One of the first joints that like made me be like, oh shit, nah, this nigga kind of crazy was Wetty, and he was already like popping when that shit came out. And he's like,
All right.
yo, I met her at the deli. She was horny. Ready. I was like, whoa, shit. What are we talking about? Like, you know what I mean? And then with that drill beat, I was like, nah, this shit hard. So I was like, all right, cool. So, I was after that, I was tuned in. So I was like, all right, I gotta see what this nigga doing.
Yeah.
So this is his debut album, and I am really excited for
shit.
this album.
All right.
I was gonna say it's been a while since I was excited for an album.
Is
but
he
actually,
releasing it on vinyl?
Possibly.
If he does, I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah. The last album I was excited for was also this year. It was Yeat's album. That was a really fun album. And then he dropped like a deluxe and has like some features with Uzi. Uzi was floating. That was fun. But
you got really zoned in on that for a second.
oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
but no, because that album's just really fun for me. But
I think we talked about this, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Young
don't-
boy shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking or like, I don't know. I don't think there's a message. I don't know what the fuck it's about, but it's just fun shit to like smoke and turn up to.
Yeah.
So, but I'm actually excited for this Fabio album because Fabio be talking. That motherfucker be rapping that shit. And he's working closely with Ye on this shit. Of course, he has City of Gods on the album, the feature with Ye. That song go crazy.
Shit.
And like, I'm not from New York.
You're not?
Not at all.
No, this whole time.
Right? Yeah, son. Nah, but word the mother. But I'm not from New York, but of course, just being like a hip hop head, like I am, like it's always cool to me on a certain level to see like the New York cats to be like, yeah, the New York shit. I'm claiming the city. I'm New York.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, y'all do that.
Yeah.
Of course, like West Coast hip hop is what is like what I grew up with and shit. So like, there's like I'm gonna lean that way, but there is something that's just cool to see about the New York niggas being like, yeah, this our shit. Like I'm the king of New York, and like on that City of Gods.
That's one of the things I love because, like you said, it feel different.
Yeah,
Like
because that's where it came from.
When I discovered like the hip hop that I liked, I was in high school and I felt like this fucking feels different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get a weird vibration.
Yeah.
Pause. I just like I get a weird feeling, like a different feeling when I listen to certain shit. And what I notice is like within the genre, you can hop around and get that new feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then every like 5 or 6 years, something like that, you find an artist, so you get that new feeling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. I like that.
That's why I was so excited for Pop Smoke. R.I.P. You know, because like he gave me that feeling. I hear his shit and it's just like I want to beat the shit out of a motherfucker. But like, yeah, you know what I mean.
But
so
you were gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this was gonna be like the best time that anybody ever had beating the shit out of somebody. Like so, like you know what I mean. And it's not the same feeling as Pop Smoke when Fabio is doing his thing. But like that energy is still there because that was his man's, you know what I'm saying? Same gang, all of that type shit. So like there's just like an energy that's there. Rowdy Rebel, like all of them cats who was like from that clique, they carry like that energy with them. So I root for all them motherfuckers, and I'm really excited for this album.
All right.
And I just feel like not only this album, I feel like this is gonna be like the start. Like we're gonna get like some really dope shit in 2022 because of like the pandemic. Like people push shit back and shit like that. People was afraid of touring and all kind of stuff. But like everything is back to normal now.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. So like touring, it's up. You want to tour, you can tour now. Like you can do whatever. So I'm thinking like some of these big names that we haven't heard from too much in the last couple of years, like Travis Scott, Utopia is coming this year. And that shit is gonna sound crazy, especially after that whole tragedy at Astroworld. Like he gonna have some fucking crazy shit on there to make us forget about that and love him again.
I think,
even though people are already kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think motherfuckers still
like,
love him. Like I don't think that's a thing. It was wild though. So I get most of my shit, like my news and stuff, from social media. Like I don't have cable. So I think most people do. I watch YouTube all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So I'll see shit pop up on there. But I also watch a lot of conspiracy channels because I just fucking enjoy weird shit like
the
that.
fun shit.
But because of that, the shit I'm being fed about like that concert,
Wild
it
shit.
ranged from demonic possession to a scientific breakdown of maximum capacity for the arena and a overhead camera view colored in by capacity to their best ability. Like statisticians and shit go in and overanalyze. Like that's my
Yeah.
range of
Yeah,
like
man.
shit I was getting.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, is it demonic or is it math?
It's demonic math.
That sounds all bad.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, man. Like, but that album though, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
You are correct.
Yeah, like
I
that's gonna be crazy. Another album that I am fucking, I can't wait
Yeah.
until this motherfucker tells us a release date, because every
Yeah, you're getting the shakes right now.
Like-
You didn't even tell me what it is.
snippet, every
Yeah.
like, time he gives us a song, be like, yo, this is gonna be on here. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's that?
Pusha T.
Oh shit.
Pusha T, one of the
We
greatest
talked about
rappers of
this
all
too,
time,
right?
in my opinion.
You had me Google a date or something.
Yeah, there isn't a release
There
date
isn't
yet.
a date yet.
But he, like, first there was the Diet Coke joint that came out, and Kanye is just dancing in the video. He don't even
Oh
rap.
shit.
Like, that shit was fire.
Damn.
He just dropped a single with Hove. Like, so I'm gonna have to play you that.
All right.
But like, shit. And then I know Nigo, I guess it's a producer, but he dropped a couple of songs on I know Nigo's album,
Yo.
and one of them is called Punch Bowl. And there's a special feature. You want to know who the feature is? Guess. Wrong. It's Malice. It's Malice. The motherfucking clips are back on this song. When the last time you heard it like this?
Damn. Never.
Oh my god. Yes.
That's wild.
Bro, so like, and Malice is talking that shit. Malice is Malice again. He's
Oh,
not
shit.
no Malice on this song. He's Malice again.
No shit.
Yeah. He was
Alright.
talking that shit. And he just sounds like, all right, you know, as a rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to sit down, and it's been a while since you were an active rapper, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to sit down and come up with a verse, you want to make sure that it's not ass and all kind of shit like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always, right?
I mean, I was
but
gonna
like
say-
being rusty, right?
Uh-huh.
Like you're like, oh, I'm rusty. Like you're a little bit more conscious. Like, I need to make sure like we on point, right?
yeah.
So you're gonna take a little bit more time on it. You're gonna make sure that you with it.
Yeah.
And like the first one that you might not use the first one that you come up with, because you might be like, come on, I'm better than that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And because I wrote some shit, we were talking about filming like a little like thing of us like rapping or freestyling or something. And I started like writing because I got all hyped for it. And I was like, okay, well, if it's not a freestyle and we just gonna spit some shit, like I'm gonna come prepared.
Yeah.
And like over a week, I wrote 2 verses. And it was funny because I edited those 2 verses more than I've ever edited any verse ever in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was because the first iteration wasn't good. I edited it to make it less complex. I was like, nah, don't hit right. Like I was tweaking, and it was crazy because I haven't done that in so long, and it was something that I only did at the very tail end of me like stop rapping.
Right.
Because before that, it was just like I'm gonna write some shit,
And there it is.
There it is. Let's do this shit. And maybe I get stuck on some part. I cross some shit out. I come back to it later. But I've never like stressed over each fucking like bar and multisyllabic or nah, that's too much. All right. And like really like let myself get loose on some shit. And then I remember we didn't film it. And then I just filmed me rapping another verse. I wrote that second verse because I didn't want to drop the one that I had stressed on just in case y'all changed your mind and we were gonna actually do it. So I dropped some trash rap that I wrote on the fly just because I was like, nah, I just spent like all this time writing. I'm gonna do a video.
Yeah.
And I posted that shit on my own IG. You know what I mean? So like yeah, man, that shit, the feeling is crazy. And then like picking apart your shit.
So when Malice
Yeah.
hops on this track, he sounds ready, boy.
Oh yeah.
My man Malice is in shape, boy.
Shit.
My man Malice sound like
Sound like? What do you sound like?
he already been writing a few verses.
Probably.
Sound like
You got one in the chamber.
he might be getting ready for something. Now, part of this might just be me trying to manifest this and put it out there in the universe. But another part of me thinks you ain't just gonna pop out of nowhere and put clips
Yeah.
as a feature on a song unless the clips is gonna be making more songs. Unless the clips might be dropping a motherfucking album after this Pusha T shit.
I'm trying to get that album.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm trying to,
Oh, man.
cross all platforms and medias.
Dog, if the clips are coming back in 2022,
Bruh.
this is gonna be a good ass year for rap. I'm already thinking this is gonna be a good ass year for rap because there's another big name that we haven't heard from in a while. We heard he popped up on. Actually, they ended up winning. I think they won Grammy for Rap Performance of the Year, which they deserve for this song. But Kendrick Lamar, we haven't heard a Kendrick Lamar album, and he left TDE.
That I was gonna say he left or he's trying to leave. Is he out officially?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And he's got his own shit, right?
Yeah. So
That's why. I was gonna say that's why he hasn't dropped nothing.
Yeah, so we haven't heard from him in a while, and I'm thinking that 2020 before 2022 is over with.
What the fuck happened anyway? With TDE?
I mean, they just
Like that was the come up too. Like
I mean, well, they're still popping. Like, I mean, SZA is still doing her thing.
No, I'm not saying the label. I'm talking about like him. Like why is he?
I don't think there's any beef or anything. I think he just wants
I
to.
was curious.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think there's any beef. I think he just wants to. He maybe
be
just,
independent.
Yeah, or maybe he just feels like it's time
Probably
to
a
do
smart thing.
his own thing.
If he dude, because his fans are gonna follow.
Yeah, and I mean he been fucking with Top since before since before he was like big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so. Wow. Pause.
He was.
Yeah. So
before he was big.
Damn. And now you gonna fuck the world for 72 hours. God damn.
Man.
But yeah, man. So like, I think we might even get something. I think we might even get a surprise from Drake this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I don't think CLB hit the way it was supposed to hit.
Yeah.
And I think he might just surprise us with some shit, like how he did those Dark Lane demo tapes in, what was that, 2020?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe Donda 2 makes an appearance on streaming after a while. I doubt it, but maybe. But, like, you know. I just
It'll be. I think he'll release it on vinyl first, and it'll be a collectible, and it'll sell for like hundreds of dollars.
yeah.
Because nobody's heard it yet, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, it's on vinyl now."
Yeah.
And in fact, I mean, if he's smart, that's the way he does the trickle down release. If he starts to roll it out through other mediums,
But nah, I feel that. But yeah, I just feel like 2022 could be one of those all-time years, man.
yeah, for sure. I was gonna say his 808s and Heartbreaks. That's a collector's album for vinyl collectors.
That makes sense.
Like that shit. It's hard to fucking find.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend hundreds of dollars on that shit.
Yeah.
At least.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to. Maybe I should. I just spent a bunch of money on sports cards.
Yeah. Chill out, man.
Yeah. You're right. I gotta cool off a little bit. It's getting. Nah, we're not. We're like halfway to my car. We cool.
All right. Fuck it, we bow.
Nah, not even halfway to the car, but
Yeah.
maybe when we get to halfway to the car, we'll stop. I'm just gonna buy it. Fuck it.
You ever seen Snow on the Bluff?
Yes, like 3 times.
There we go. Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah.
There's
I
a-
don't remember that part.
Yeah, there's a right way. Ain't
I might have to
wait.
watch this again.
Ain't no
This
right
was
way or
years
the-
ago. Wasn't that like?
It's on. I think the whole thing's on
That
YouTube.
was like 2013.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Dude,
Ain't no right way or the wrong way. It's the need way.
I need that fucking album.
Shout out to Curtis Snow,
That dude too.
friend of the show.
Wait, so I was gonna ask because I was talking about sports cards. You're talking about wrestling.
Yes,
Did you ever collect the wrestling sports cards?
I
Like, is that a
did.
thing?
I did have some wrestling sports cards. That's totally a thing. I feel like more with wrestling fans, like if we're gonna have the cards, we more want to get them signed or something like that. Take it to meet a wrestler, get it signed. I think a lot of people focus more on like collecting like the replica belts and
Oh, I see.
or collecting the toys.
Yeah.
So that's why like the cards aren't focused on like how they are for like sports.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
plus too because they don't like have stats and stuff on there, so it's just kind of like,
They should have stats.
well, yeah, but
Number
like
of
also,
matches, wins, losses,
Yeah.
wins, losses, draws.
yeah, they should,
Tag
but like
teams.
they don't really like the way, especially WWE, they kind of don't count
Track.
or well, no, they don't really track the wins and losses like that. So like you just have to watch and shit because a lot like
Hold up.
it'll depend on the storyline, right? So like say like a match will end in a disqualification because like somebody came in and started beating up another dude and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
But
that could
it's
be a
because-
record. Most disqualifications.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
like
that could be a thing.
that's just not how WWE is set up.
So
Because they just want you to focus more on the storylines. I don't think they want you to focus. I mean, yeah, wins and losses matter, but like they kind of don't at the same time sometimes.
what?
Yeah, because it's about the storylines, right? So like it matters like when.
Well, no, I get that, but wouldn't a win versus loss record feed into a storyline?
Kinda, sometimes, a little bit. Like so, like
So
with WWE,
if you talk about like
wins and losses matter when they want them to matter. So it's like, all right, this feud is for the championship, right?
and how much more
But
value would that add to a card if it had the stats on it for a wrestler who just went through a storyline where it mattered?
I feel like
I'm
with-
saying, like there's a lot of potential in the hype around.
yeah,
like,
it's just gonna take a lot of conditioning of the fans because of the way that for
It's set up
WWE
now.
for years has just been like, oh, okay, whatever. Like sometimes like it'll be like,
shit, you got me. I was thinking about buying wrestling cards. Now you got me thinking maybe this ain't a good idea.
I mean,
Because I noticed they ain't like, I buy graded cards. They ain't graded.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
They're all raw, pretty much.
I feel like like the cards for wrestling is just like I think more people focus more on the belts or getting like the action figures. Now, if you want to get into some shit, the action figures is where it's at.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
So fuck the cards, get the action figures.
If you want to do collectible shit with wrestling and make money,
Well, but
the
I'm-
action figures.
I mean, so I'm looking at my goal is to buy things that are undervalued, right? So maybe I can do that with action figures. But that's why I was thinking of the cards, because it was obvious to me just kind of scanning through that
I mean,
there wasn't a tension there.
Also that could be a thing that turns into something. Maybe like you could be part of the wave that like makes wrestling cards.
Well, I just know they're catching
like
on
a
in
thing.
other things. I mean, now they have like Formula One drivers.
Yeah.
They released their set of sports cards, and apparently they're high value because it's like the first time they've done it, and so everybody who's a fan wants a fucking sports card, Formula One card of their driver, I guess.
And then another thing too with like wrestling fans, a lot of us like we're gonna buy some fucking wrestling shit.
But you don't want a card.
I
Or
mean,
a shirt or
well, yeah, but I'm saying like
like
if you find a way to tap into wrestling fans,
yeah.
you'll find people who will buy the cards. Is what I'm
Alright.
saying. Like there's a market for it. Like there's people who will just buy anything wrestling.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Maybe we'll look at some stuff. Maybe this one we won't give away because I'm not so sure on what we're
hold up.
buying yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll take a look at some people. Oh, we'll give one away. I want to ask you if there was one wrestler that you want me to look at some shit for, who would it be?
Okay. Well,
We'll give the one.
Okay, WrestleMania was this past weekend.
All right.
And there was one guy who I felt like just kind of stole the show. We knew there were rumors he was going to show up. He's been away from WWE for about 6 years. He went to AEW, was one of the founding guys over there, started up the competition. Cody Rhodes, man, the American Nightmare. This guy, I feel like right now, he's in his sweet spot. I just looked up some shit. He's the top merch seller for WWE now. After WrestleMania,
No
all
shit.
his shirts are sold out. This
No
guy,
shit.
people are eating it up right now. Every time he showed up at WrestleMania, in where the Dallas Cowboys play,
Yeah.
and the whole place went nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it sounded like the Cowboys were playing.
Damn.
And doing good, actually. Like, like they went nuts. I feel like this guy is just. I really dig his character right now. I feel like he is, like I said, he's in the sweet spot, man. Like, for me, I was describing it to somebody else who was a wrestling fan, and this reference is gonna make no sense to you, and probably not to most of our audience, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Watching Cody Rhodes, like whatever he's doing in wrestling when he shows up on the TV, it makes me feel like I'm watching TBS. It makes me feel like I'm watching the Superstation at 6:05 on a Saturday back in the 80s. That's a reference to the old NWA show that his dad used to be on. Dad, Dusty Rhodes, one of the greatest of all time. So I feel like Cody is really hot right now.
Yeah.
And if WWE is smart, they're going to keep riding this and probably push him into a championship feud.
I know. Wait, championship feud? So it's just to build the hype.
Yeah. Well, just to keep riding his momentum, the crowds are going crazy. And his first promo, he says he wants to win the WWE championship because his dad never won it.
Shit.
There's a story.
Sound like they're setting up for that.
Exactly. There's a story built right there.
Yeah.
He's like probably one of the hottest guys in the company right now as far as like momentum with the fans.
Yeah.
Like you got to put him. That's your money match is putting him against the champ.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And especially right now, they have Roman Reigns as he's like been champ for like a whole year and shit like that. Like,
shit.
or no, over a year. And
shit.
he's like on his character is fucking cooking right now. So
Roman
like,
Reigns. Is that to do with the long hair?
yeah.
He used to have the vest?
Yeah.
Does he still have the vest?
No, he doesn't wear the vest anymore.
What was it? There was a whole gang of them, right?
Yeah,
What was
the
it called?
Shield.
The Shield, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So like Roman Reigns, man, he's like killing it. He's on the
That was
best
like
run of
workhouse
his career.
days.
Yeah,
That's where I watched it.
that's when he first. That's like when he first debuted. Yeah.
Shit, damn, dude.
So like now he's the fucking man.
all right.
Yeah.
shit.
So like
So him and Cody Rhodes.
Him and
you
Cody
thinking that's
Rhodes.
the road?
man, if it's not Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam for the championship,
We
I'm gonna
riot.
I'm gonna be very surprised.
Oh, yeah.
But like I feel like that's a huge match, or like I don't know, like the only, or because Roman has both belts right now, unless somehow like he gives one belt away or something like that, and then Cody goes against that guy. But like you
Maybe.
gotta have at the next like big event, SummerSlam,
Yeah.
Cody needs to be going against somebody for the belt.
All right. So I'm definitely gonna look him up. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna get to him first.
Yeah.
Who's the Jordan though? Like if the card market for wrestling is untapped, like I think it is, and maybe there are some cards out there that just not valued the way they should be. Who's the Jordan?
It's weird because it can go like either way with wrestling. Like on one hand, I imagine that the Jordan would be Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's the highest drawn wrestler of all time. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He's like as far as like putting butts in the seats.
Yeah.
Nobody's put more butts in the seats ever than Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was on top. But then wrestling is like weird. So because like they could just be like maybe there could be like a really rare Barry Horowitz card or something, and that's what everybody wants because like you know. And Barry Horowitz was like pretty much a jobber.
I think sports cards and just like the collectibles hobby in general can be weird.
And then like
like the randomest shit sometimes is really sought after because it's just rare enough.
Like
It has the right appeal. So I mean, that's why I'm interested, even if I don't really get into the wrestling portion of it. But it's interesting to see.
like there's this guy Tom McGee, right? So yeah, this was him. He was a bodybuilder, right?
All right.
And Vince McMahon thought because this guy looked great,
Yeah.
and he was athletic. Vince McMahon thought this guy, I could make him
Yeah.
the next Hulk Hogan.
Oh shit.
So he had a tryout match. And he had a match against Bret Hart. And Bret Hart is one of the best, like, pure wrestlers that pro wrestling has ever had. Like, he could actually, like, wrestle. Like,
Yeah.
his dad, I think, wrestled for Canada in the Olympics. Like,
fuck.
so, like, he has, like, actual wrestling training and can do the pro wrestling shit.
Nice.
So Bret Hart's nice, and it was really important to him to make things look like a real fight and do things that would actually make sense, like this was a real competition.
Yeah.
So he was so good at what he did, he helped Tom McGee look fucking amazing in this match.
Okay.
And so Vince McMahon was like, all right, let's let this guy go out here. And that guy, Tom McGee, had a match against somebody who wasn't Bret Hart. And Vince McMahon was like, yo, what the fuck? No.
Oh.
And pretty much killed the guy's wrestling career.
So what you're saying is Bret Hart is the MJ because he make anybody look good.
I mean, well, Bret Hart, anything Bret Hart, like collectible and shit,
Yeah.
you're gonna clean up.
Yo.
But but what I'm saying is they're one of the most sought after pieces of wrestling history was video of this match between Bret Hart and Tom McGee because it wasn't on TV. It never aired on TV or anything, but there was video.
Oh,
so
is it out there now?
Yeah. So eventually, I think it was somebody who was related to them or whatever, or somebody who their relative worked for WWE. Anyway, they found a tape. And they ended up finding the VHS, so then they got it over to WWE, and then WWE made like a documentary.
If the most sought after thing was a video, made me think you turn it into NFTs.
Oh yeah,
And you start selling it.
yeah. That's the thing. But yeah, no, and
I'm
like,
not gonna do all
honestly,
that shit. I just wanted to know about like
tape trading
who's
was
the
like
who.
a huge
Oh,
thing with
dude,
wrestling.
in everything, right? Like any sort of like medium where shit was recorded. Talking about music.
Well, yeah, especially
You know
for
what I mean?
tape trading because like they would record shows like indie shows, and it's like
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
say especially like in the early 2000s, like when the indies started like really blowing up. So like I was in high school and like Ring of Honor started doing shit, IWA Mid South, like all these guys are doing crazy shit. CM Punk.
So you ever
Samoa Joe.
trade some tapes?
Oh hell yeah! I got it because that's like, say I wanted to see like Japanese death matches and shit like that. Like it's not like I could go to fucking Blockbuster and then like YouTube was still like new or barely exist. You know what I mean? So and then I can't go on some of these websites and shit. Might fucking kill my computer. So you know,
The fuck kind of websites are these?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to like, I gotta go to like some random sketchy ass site that like I don't, you know what I mean? Some dude
Download
made,
some
like,
shit.
you know what I mean? And then download shit. And this is like the early 2000s, so like you know how that shit went. Sometimes you download it and it's cool, and sometimes you download it and then your computer doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I'm trying to see the Japanese death matches and with the Japanese commentary. So, like,
Yeah.
you know.
You don't want the English bullshit.
Yeah, so you gotta go to the message boards and start talking to dudes.
Yeah.
And, oh, I got this tape. Oh, well, I got this. And then once it's DVDs, it's like, oh, shit, send me
Damn.
this.
Yeah.
So,
Right on.
yeah, man.
Oh shit, that's interesting. I'm glad I asked because now I can kind of approach it with like at least a little bit of understanding on
The fan base.
the fandom of it and what's popping. And maybe I gotta consider some other things than sports cards. I mean, I'm still gonna look at the cards.
Yeah.
The reason I like the cards, like out of all the things I've ever collected, bought, and sold, cards are the easiest to ship.
Now that you got me talking about wrestling. Oos Wrestling comes back May 26th.
Oh shit!
You trying to go?
Hell yeah!
Oos Wrestling, holla at your boys.
Hey,
Alright. You need some commentators, interviewers.
hell yeah!
You want to send some wrestlers to the Two Dope Dad podcast to talk? I'll make sure you guys see this.
That'd be sick, bro.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be hype.
All right. How long have we been talking?
Yo, like kind of a long time. Yeah, like an hour 17 minutes. You know, nothing too
something
mage.
All right.
The
well,
huge.
All right. All right. Well, before we go, there was something interesting that I saw on social media this week.
What's that?
Hang on.
You don't even remember.
I want to make sure I get the guy's name right. Okay, so there's a rapper who's now deceased by the name of Goon.
Like the guy from
Goonew. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Like the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. The weather outside is weather. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of his name.
Right? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Kunu.
Kunu. All right, so this guy, his real name was Markel Morrow.
Mm-hmm.
He was murdered. But
I was just laughing like a second ago. I can't be laughing. You can't be setting me up like that.
sorry, but forget about now because I got to talk more about
All
him being
right,
dead.
okay, what happened?
All right, so he was murdered, and I guess they got in touch with a funeral home and reached out to Bliss nightclub, and in DC, Bliss nightclub rented out the nightclub to them, and they basically held his going home service, which was his final show, and they had my man like stuffed and standing on the stage like in
Yeah,
a
strip
new
club.
fit.
Was he getting like lap dances?
No, so it was like it's like a nightclub, and I guess this maybe he would perform there and stuff like that because he was like an active
I
local
guess
rapper.
that's better.
So it
That's
was
still
like-
weird though.
It's very weird.
What the fuck?
The nightclub apologized since for renting it out for this, but
Why would they apologize?
I don't know. I mean, well, you gotta do something. Cause now you just look crazy, like, oh, you renting out and have dead niggas in
If
the
you
club.
apologize, that just tells me that you knew what you was doing was wrong, but you was doing it for a bag. I'm assuming they paid
Yes,
the club
they
for
rented
it.
they rented it out and let them niggas do the
That
shit.
just
And they
tells
probably
me
didn't
that
think it
you
was
got
gonna-
no moral standards. Not that I'm saying any which way about the family that decided this was a good idea. Like,
the business,
maybe misjudgment, maybe it's just how they do things. But like on the business end of it, y'all motherfuckers knew what you was doing. You was taking some money to let some motherfuckers do whatever they
They're only
want.
apologizing because the shit went viral across the country because
Yeah.
like motherfuckers posted
Condolences
videos.
to the family, but
Yes,
fuck the
100%.
nightclub.
Yeah.
Fuck or not fuck the nightclub, but fuck your apology. Like
Yeah.
y'all do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck.
But yeah, that was crazy. I just say like if
Is that some shit that you would want? Like, who the fuck would want that?
if I pass away, don't take me to the club. I don't like going to the club now. Like, or I don't like being in there that long. I don't want to be out
God.
in there after I'm dead. Like, nigga, don't have me at the club. You want to do something, you could like
Bury you with an ounce of weed.
bury me with an ounce of weed, and then bury me like in a garden, and then when I start to decompose, like let me feel like be the fertilizer for your weed plants
Oh,
and grow and like name the strain after me or some shit like that. Like if you gonna do something with me after I'm dead, like do some shit like that. Like let me help you grow your weed.
Yeah.
Make sure it's fire and you know how to grow it, and then name that after me. It'll be like, oh, this that quality. We smoking on that quality. Or something.
pause.
Like we, you know what I mean? We smoking on that
Yeah.
KP, that quality pack. But it's okay because like I died peacefully and y'all my homies, so like we can, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like y'all
I
smoking
think-
on me out of disrespect.
Like for me, whatever ends up with my remains, I don't really care. But the dying peacefully is probably the
Yeah, I
main thing.
definitely
I'd prefer
wanna
to
do that.
die peacefully than violently.
Yeah, man. Don't.
You know when I
yeah,
said violent,
y'all
I
niggas
support-
don't kill me. Don't
Yeah,
kill
no.
me, please.
Nah,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want
That sounds like some bullshit. Like I think I'm be
Kinda.
all stressed out before I die. I be like, ah. And then
Yeah.
when I wake up, where I'm like, oh shit, I was about to get shot. Now, guy, like, oh, you can't be cussing here.
You press the eject button.
Oh, I was just about to let you in, but the first thing you said was fuck.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn to replace that. Just replace it.
Damn.
Be like, instead of like being like, oh fuck, you be like, I'm with you, Jesus.
Hey, so, yeah, nah, all right, bet, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he gotta let you in if you with Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus is my homeboy.
Yeah, we established that on the last one, even though you
Yeah.
didn't know his name.
Nah, cause I didn't know niggas was called him Joshua.
Yeah, they trying to conceal the truth, man. But that's for topic on another day.
Yeah, because we talked for a long time.
hella long. And
I gotta drink a Sprite.
he's got to drink a Sprite. I got to get some dinner because I ain't eat
I
shit.
thought you were gonna say something totally different. All right, guys. On that note, we'll see you next time.
Here's
on
our
Two
outro.
Dope Dads. I don't know what those hand signs were.
I don't know, but I said here's our outro while you're... You know what? Fuck it. Here's our outro.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for getting all the way to the end of the podcast. Hey, you can follow me on Instagram at QualiIsIll. That's KWALIISILL.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You can follow me on Instagram. My name is Eddie.C. That's Eddie.C. That's Eddie.C. Triple E.
And don't forget to follow the podcast. That's Two Dope Dads Podcast. The number 2 Dope Dads Podcast.
That's where you can stay up to date on all the episodes that are dropping and just, some dope dad stuff that we're going to post on there. So, yeah, definitely follow that and thank you.
Bow. See you guys next time.
Boom, boom, pew, pew, pew.
No.